Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a little bit of Star Wars news, and I guess insight into some of the things that they are choosing for sets going forward. And today, brickset actually interviewed the designer behind the Razor Crest, and they were just talking about different things and just a bunch of different topics, really. And they were asking them, where's Quell, and where's the updated Mandalorian armor for the Razor Crest? And they said, well, they didn't want to include everything at once. They want to, of course, down the line have everybody kind of complete their collection across multiple sets is pretty much what they said. I'm going to link the article down below if you want to check it out, but I'm just going to be talking about all the things that happened in it, and it's just kind of interesting. I mean, of course, that makes sense for LEGO's perspective. You know, a completionist putting the brand new Mandalorian armor in that. Some people might go out and get it, but at the same time, if you put like a brand new character in a different set, then that confirms that someone's going to go buy that set, and so on and so forth. So the more sets that they do, the more exclusive figures that they can put in each set, the more sets they'll sell, obviously, of course. And I think that makes a lot of sense, of course, from their perspective, and I don't personally mind it. I think that the Razor Crest is still missing at least one person, especially like a second scout trooper. I know I've said this like a billion times. We've talked about this so many times. I also have a video breaking down every Easter egg in that set, so I'll link that at the end. But honestly, the most interesting thing to me, and then this is something that I think everyone, when I've talked about LEGO ideas, we've all had this sort of discussion, is what is inappropriate to LEGO? You know, when is it okay for LEGO to cross a line? When is it not? And they said that they didn't do Jedi Fallen Order because it was a little risky. They didn't want to, you know, they weren't sure the rating at the time, or even if it is teen rated, what is going to be included in the game. I think that's a little strange to me, honestly. I look back, and I mean, maybe it means when it was released, they didn't want to have a set based on it just in case it was too violent, or they had something really controversial in it or something like that. But I think going forward, we can still get Jedi Fallen Order sets, but the way that the designer's making it sound is they kind of have closed that door for unless those characters appear in something else, he says along those lines. So that's a little worrisome to me. It doesn't make sense in my mind when I compare, like, the violence. I guess it's a little different because, you know, you're using a lightsaber versus shooting someone with a blaster from Battlefront 2 with the Item Versio set and the Inferno Squad. So I guess it kind of makes sense for them not to do Jedi Fallen Order. It is a little violent, and of course they said that their primary goal is to design sets for kids, and I do get that, but also at the same time, again, I can't help but not do this, but I look around at everything else and I'm like, well, Avengers is having this indirect tie-in to, you know, they're making all these sets around the game, and the game is going to be at least minimum teen rated, and you don't know what's in that. So I don't know, it's just kind of strange to me. Like, I guess it just has to do with teams as well. You know, the Star Wars team is different than the Marvel team. But even when it comes to Overwatch, is just one that I cannot understand how that even happened in the first place. You know, like, it has blood in it, and it's just even some of the violence and different things. I'm just surprised. I'm not upset that they did it, but it's just confusing when you look at all the other things that LEGO's saying, no, we won't cross that line for Jedi Fallen Order. So I don't know. It's a little difficult, I think, in my mind to wrap your head around that. I think inappropriateness and violence is so subjective. I mean, you can't, you can take any movie, for example, and you're like, well, Luke just blew up an entire Death Star, and you're doing a set based off of that. Like, you know, he killed millions of people on board and different things like that. And just, there's so many things. And the 501st Legion set, people are like, well, Anakin took them to the Jedi Temple to kill all the younglings, and yes, that did happen, but there's so many, like, you can always argue something, and I think that at the end of the day, you can argue why Jedi Fallen Order can be made into a set, but at the same time, it's like, he's literally cutting through people. Like, he's just insane, Cal. So, you know, I get both sides of the argument, and again, the set wouldn't have to be violent, just like when you do a 501st Legion set, well, you're not killing younglings in that set. It's very different, you know? So I don't know. It's a very difficult topic, but I just wanted to show this to you guys. It's a really interesting look into LEGO's decision making, I think, and it's important to keep that in mind going forward. Do I think Fallen Order sets could happen? I personally do. I don't see how the game isn't different than necessarily other things, but let's hope then that Cal appears in the Mando or some other movie or show or something like that down the line, so LEGO can do a set or something on him. Even if it's just a buildable BD1, I think would be really great. But there's so many set opportunities from that game. It's really great. So anyways, everyone, that's all that I have to say about this. It's kind of interesting, honestly. I'm quite impressed by the Razor Crest in general, and it makes so much sense going forward why all those characters like Quell and different things aren't in the first wave. It's not really even a wave, they're just kind of scattering them around. But for Mando 2, you know, the season 2 in the fall, there's going to be, I think, a lot of sets either tied to season 2 or just completing season 1, in my opinion. That's what I'm expecting. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But anyways, everyone, I hope that you did enjoy this video. If you want to see my playthrough of Jedi Fallen Order, I will link it here at the end on the second gaming channel and other things on that channel. But I will also link the hidden Easter eggs and different things and references in the Razor Crest set, which is really fascinating in my opinion, if you want to check that out as well. So hope that you did enjoy the video, and I hope that you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.